Good evening, afternoon, morning, whenever you're watching this video. This is CloudChartist with your weekly Ichimoku wrap-up for the week ending March 25th. It's Easter Sunday, March 27th. I'm making this video. I'm a little bit late, only 10 minutes until the futures market opens, so you're going to see some of the new open candles in this video. I apologize for that. Anyway, so looking at the ES on the weekly time frame, we see that we are still bullish, although last week's candle is still in an uptrend, meaning it did put in a higher high and a higher low. It was a red candle and closed near the lows, so it could indicate a potential reversal of trend. In order for that to be confirmed, we would need to see a higher high and a higher low. If we do get a pullback, there'll be some areas where we can expect to find support based on this chart. Let me zoom in a little bit. You can see this red line over here. This is the Chicow representing price action time shifted 26 periods into the past. So whatever this current price is doing, this Chicow is doing that also just 26 weeks ago. If we do get a pullback, the Chicow is going to have support right around this level, right around the 2005 level. So we can expect to find support. That's 25 points lower from where we closed last week. If we do move below that level, we can expect to find support at the top of the cloud here, which is around 1976.25, let's say. And then the bottom of the cloud is around 1973.50. So that area should act as support. And then if we do lose the cloud, we have the Kijun Sen offering support down here at 1956.38 and the Tenkan Sen all the way down at 1925. If we do move higher, we don't have any clear resistance in this area, so we would just have to look back at horizontal levels to find resistance for a move higher on the weekly time frame. Let's look at crude. One might project that since the correlation between crude and ES has been very tight lately, that the reason that we sold off on the ES could be based on the fact that we sold off on crude after we did have a very bearish EIA report. We had a very large build, a much larger build than we've had in quite a while, which caused crude to sell off. So on the weekly time frame, you see that crude is still overall in bearish territory. It's underneath the cloud. We are getting a bounce off the lows currently. We were in a strong uptrend until last week's candle. We made an inside candle, so we're still in an uptrend, but last week's candle was inside the prior candle. We do have some topping tails here above the 41.10 level. And we did close pretty close to the lows. So if we do continue lower in crude, we could expect to find support at 38.49 right here below on the weekly time frame. If we lose that weekly Kijun Sen at 38.49, we can expect to potentially find support down at the Tenkan Sen at 34.27. We'll wait and see what happens. If we do move higher, we will find some resistance up here at the cloud, but that's not until about 46.88, thereabouts. Let's look at some other indexes. Let's look at the Russell. Bear with me for a second. I have a Twitter problem. Thank you. Sorry about that. All right. Looking at the Russell, we see that we were bull flagging on the Russell, but still bearish underneath the cloud. I'll zoom in a little bit further. And we did reverse, and although we did put in a higher high, I believe this is higher 1099.60. Last week was 1099.10, so slightly higher high last week. And so we're still in an uptrend and a higher low, but we did come down and close right about at the Kijun Sen at 1072.10. We closed at 1075.50, so just slightly above the Kijun Sen. So the Kijun Sen did offer support for the Russell on the weekly time frame. If we do lose this Kijun Sen support and move lower, we can expect to find support Perhaps at this level, this support resistance level around 1044, and then if that we move lower beyond that, we're looking at the flat Tenkan-sen below at 1017.90. Let's look at the Dow. Dow still in an uptrend, although last week put in a doji. If we get continued weakness in the Dow, we can expect for a potential pullback for the Chikou to hit the top of the cloud here around 17,320. That would be a good level for the Chikou to find support. You see that the Chikou also has support at the rising cloud as we move further into the future. So if the Chikou does manage to maintain support, it could have higher and higher support as long as it stays over the cloud. By the way, the Dow is bullish over the cloud, nice uptrend over the cloud, but the cloud is flat and thin below, so that doesn't necessarily support a strong uptrend. It supports more sideways type action. So it wouldn't be unusual to expect to see sideways or lower for the Dow given this last week's spinning top type doji. We'll see what happens. The cloud is offering support down here at 16,810. Let's look at the NASDAQ. NASDAQ is bullish over the cloud. Last week put in a bit of a gravestone reversal type doji candle with almost no body, very large topping tail, very small bottoming tail. Although it did close around this similar level as last week. Last week's close was 43.97, or 2 weeks ago. Last week's close was 4,400, so just 3 points different from the prior week's close. So that's obviously important resistance at the moment. If we do confirm the reversal to the downside, we can look to find support at the Kijun-sen at 4,300.88, and then the cloud slightly below that at 41.85. Then we'll have support all the way through the cloud as well, which is pretty thick. So that we have support for the NASDAQ. It will be in neutral territory if we do end up getting back into the cloud. Let's look at some metals. Gold put in a very bearish candle last week. In fact, it closed at an interesting level. You see, I talk about the Chikou again here. The Chikou came down and closed right at the bottom of the cloud here, so we could have support for gold here. We see that's been support in the past. This 1220 area, 1215, 1220 area. So it does look like a bull flag overall, despite this very bearish candle here. If we do, however, lose the support of the cloud, where the Chikou loses support of the cloud, we could come down and find support at the Tenkan-sen, which is currently at 1192.70, and could be in a different place in about 2 minutes whenever the new candle opens up. So we'll see wherever the Tenkan-sen is. Gold will have support, and then gold will also have support at the top of the cloud for now, which is around 1190. So keep that level in mind. Let's get silver. Silver put in a bearish reversal type candle, but it's inside the last week's candle. It did put in a close under the cloud, so it went from being in neutral on weekly time frame to being back into bearish territory. If it does move lower, we can expect to find support at the Tenkan-sen at 1509. If it moves below the Tenkan-sen, then we have support below that at 1499. If it loses that important $15 level, then you know, it will be bearish for sure. It's already bearish, but it will be more bearish if it loses these two support levels for silver. Has to do some work in order to get back into neutral territory. We need a close above that 1533 level. Let's look at some treasuries. Let's look at the 30-year to start. Bear with me, the new Candles just open. All right. So ZB on the weekly time frame, we do have a bullish overall chart here, and we have a current trading range between the Tenkan Sen here and the Kijun Sen here. The Kijun Sen being at 161.03 below, and the Tenkan Sen at 165.20. So until one of those is broken, we just have a range, a trading range right here. I see the ES is moving higher right now after the open. So just keep an eye on that 161.03 level to offer support on ZB. Let's look at ZN, 10-year. ZN did close above this Kijun Sen level here last week, but opened and has gone below the Kijun Sen level. So the Kijun Sen level is important support for ZN right now on the weekly time frame. That 129.050 level, that was very reactive. If you were trading ZN, you definitely noticed that last week. It looks kind of like a strange tightening situation happening here. So we'll see what happens, but keep an eye on that 129.050 level, very important. If we do put in close above that, then we'll be back in this trading range between that 129.050 and the 130.175 above. But overall, mostly bullish for ZN at the moment on the weekly time frame. Next up, let's look at the Nikkei. Been an interesting market to watch. The yen has been moving around a lot. It's been the most interesting currency as of late, the dollar yen. Been a good predictor of risk. Watching the yen move has been definitely very handy for trading treasuries, fixed income type stuff. I definitely recommend everybody who trades futures to keep an eye on that 6J contract. Anyway, the Nikkei, you can note that Chikou is inside the cloud, which is good, has bullish, has cloud support. And we're in a trading range between the 16.378 Tenkan Sen below and the Kijun Sen at 17.438 above. So until one of these is broken, we'll be trading in the same range. Overall, the Nikkei is still bearish, but we do have this arc in the cloud coming up, so I would not be surprised if we do make it over this Kijun Sen resistance 17.438 to see the Nikkei follow the arc of the cloud, and perhaps it could have a possibility to break over the cloud at this cloud twist area coming up on April 25th. This very thin area here in the beginning of May, mid-May, sorry. And then also at this twist area here in July. So keep an eye on that on the weekly. Let's look at the 6J contract, why not, which basically trades opposite of the Nikkei. Yen is currently bullish on the weekly time frame, although we do have a significant gap lower at the moment here. But overall, we're sort of bull flagging above this cloud. We do have a flat cloud top. Flats tend to attract price in Ichimoku. Chikou is neutral inside the cloud. So I would not be surprised to see the yen, if it does move lower, come down and test this prior. You can see this prior horizontal support level around 87.88. If it does move lower below that, it does have support at the top of the cloud right here at 87.276. And then it will have support inside the cloud at the Tenkan Sen if it does move all the way down into there. You can see that we do have this trough, which is not offering a lot of support for the yen moving forward, which is why my Nikkei going higher thesis and my yen going lower thesis is intact. Let's just go over dollar yen chart. I don't think I've been doing it in my video lately, but I've been posting it on Twitter and talking about it in my chat room. It's very interesting to me. A lot of people just want to short the rips on dollar yen. I sort of called a buy based on the fact that the Chikou managed to bounce off the bottom of the cloud, which I thought to be a pretty bullish event. The fact that it was able to hold the cloud on the weekly time frame. So indeed, we are sort of bear flagging, but we did put in a bullish candle last week for dollar yen, and this week's candle is opening up above the close of last week's candle. So if we do move higher, you know, we obviously have prior resistance at this 113.94 level, 113.95 level. So that will be key moving ahead. And then if we do get above that, then we could test this, you know, the tops of these candles here, 114.50 area. Then we have the bottom of the cloud here at 115.50, and then the Tenkan-sen inside the cloud. But because of the shape of the cloud, I am looking for a bounce in dollar-yen moving forward. Let's look at some strange futures. Let's look at coffee. Let's attempt to look at coffee. All right. So coffee, after putting in that sort of massive rip of 3 weeks of bullish activity, put in a potential reversal candle, large topping tail inside the cloud. It made it into the neutral cloud here, and then came down and tested the bottom of the cloud support and put in a bounce. So it's kind of a big-bodied spinning top candle here, but it looks like potential topping pattern for coffee. You want to keep an eye on the cloud level here at 120. Let's see where that low was. 129.30 is going to be real important. If we do get in a move below 129.30, then we could come down and test the Tenkan-sen. You do note that Chikou right here is just about at Kijun-sen support, which is why we closed at this level, because the Chikou was holding that support. So that could also be an important support level going forward. If the Chikou loses the Kijun-sen, the next area of support the Chikou will have is down here at 127.57. So that's another level to look at if we do lose the cloud support and move lower on coffee. Let's look at some cows, some live cattle. Live cattle had been sort of in a choppy uptrend and put in a potential reversal candle, and then boom, reversed very strong. Came down and closed underneath the Tenkan-sen here. So it's important, if you want to be bullish on the live cattle, that we first of all get back above the Tenkan-sen at 135.25. Then we will have resistance here at the cloud at 138.45, 46 thereabouts. And then we will also, if we do continue to move lower and we don't get back above the Tenkan-sen, then we will have support at the Kijun-sen down here below at 133.35. So if we do continue lower, keep an eye on that 133.35 level if you are trading live cattle. So it's still bearish in Ichimoku terms and is currently in a downtrend. Let's look at the live hogs. I mean the lean hogs, sorry. I wish they were alive and that they would stay alive, but anyway, we see that last week confirmed a trend reversal to the downside, so we do have that going on for the lean hogs. No longer this nice uptrend existing. We did, you know, obviously found the cloud to be very important resistance. So if we continue to move lower, then we can expect to potentially test the Tenkan-sen at 67.90. And if the Tenkan-sen does not hold at 67.90, then we could move lower, maybe test this prior horizontal support area of around 65.20. And if we do not hold that area, then we could come down to the Kijun-sen below at 63.38. All right, let's see. I'm going to wrap it up here since the futures are open, and keep the video not too long, going on crazy on other strange commodities. Thank you for watching my video. If you want to give me a thumbs up on YouTube if you appreciated my work, then I would appreciate it. Apparently I get better bandwidth if I get some thumbs up on YouTube. That's what I hear anyway. If you're interested in learning more about Ichimoku, do follow me on YouTube. Check out all my other prior videos. I do have a playlist on there about instructional stuff. And I also have a chat room where I teach trading with Ichimoku charts. We mostly trade live futures in there. During the day, we've been trading a lot of ES recently, treasuries, some SPY, some stock stuff. Mostly futures though, mostly really been killing it on the ES lately in the chat room. So if you're interested in learning to trade futures with Ichimoku Charts might give you that extra edge that you've been looking for. So you can find out more information about my chat room on my website at cloudchartist.com. And if you do have any questions, please feel free to hit me up on Twitter at CloudChartist or send me an email, cloudchartist@gmail.com. Thanks again for watching. Have a great rest of your Easter weekend and good luck trading this week. Thanks.